Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel, Cruising with Mrs. DLC. I am fresh off of an 8-day cruise, and let's talk about 5 pros and 5 cons to not using a travel agent to assist with planning a cruise. Stay tuned. Okay, let's get started. Now, I do have one disclaimer, and that is I happen to be one of those people who often says, I'll just do it myself. So keep that in mind as we go through the 5 pros and 5 cons in not using a travel agent to plan my family and friends cruise. In 2024, we're in 2025 now, just in case you're watching this far into the future. We're in 2025. A year ago, I thought that I would have a bright idea to plan a family and friends cruise. I have cruised, I believe, maybe 4 or 5 times. So I'm not like a huge, I mean, there are some people that cruise 5 times a year, which that's goal. That's my goal. That's definitely a goal of mine. I love, love, love it. I have only cruised on one line, and that is a Carnival cruise line. I know there's a whole lot that goes on in social media regarding Carnival. I've been on several different ships, and I have had an excellent experience, some better than others, on each of the ships that I have cruised on. So, of course, I wanted to share this with family and friends. And this is not the first cruise that I planned with multiple people other than my immediate family. Like 20 or over. That's what we're talking, like 20 or over. So I thought that we would do this again. It will be the first big cruise since COVID. So would go through the steps of planning. Felt like I learned a lot of lessons in the first year in 2023 when we cruised. So I thought I was absolutely ready. When you're about to plan a cruise, just know that what you have going on in your life, because when you're just comparing from the last experience to what you're doing now, you also need to know what's happening in your life. I'm in school, I have a lot going on with work now, and just throwing in the cruise planning was a heavy lift. Now, this is all about the 5 pros and 5 cons. And I'm also thinking, should I really have used a travel agent as I go through this? So this is really what we call at work postmortem, lessons learned, all that other great stuff. I think it's just reflection on, did I do everything I needed to do? Can I have done anything better? Because it will happen again. We will have another family cruise. And how we go about planning it is really thinking about some of those things that were pros and cons. So let's get started. I have my little cruise planner here for my vacation planning. I use this little LV planner to jot down my notes, and I've taken a lot of things out of the binder now that I had jotted down in here. But some of those other things I wanted to remember, I did keep in here. So let's start with pros. We'll go with the pros, or should we go with the cons? Uh, we'll go with the pros. Let's go with the pros. Pro number one. Pro number one, there is no middle person. When you use a travel agent, there is always someone that is responsible for everything, really, and you don't have to be responsible for everything. But that's kind of a facade, because if your name is attached, and the reason why people are going on a cruise is because you either ask them to go along with you, or they know someone who is cruising and they're a friend of that person. So everyone links back to you, and then you have to link back to the travel agent anyway. So it's still a lot of work. If you are that person, then you can handle whatever those issues are, and you know that they are resolved. So with me as the person who planned the cruise and decided not to use a travel agent, I was that person that would resolve all of the issues and help them think through what they needed to think through, whether the type of room they wanted, the number of people. There's some age requirements now with Carnival. If someone is under the age of 21, their room must be in the proximity, very close proximity of an adult that's traveling with them. So I believe it may be like one or two cabinets away. So they cannot be too far away. So there's some other things you have to just know in order to help with that. So that's one. It was a pro. You'll probably see the same thing on the con list, but that's one pro. The second, and I'm going to go back to one again with this, is that when you have, and I've had a lot of first time cruisers, they're very nervous about the process. So they really want to talk to someone that they know, and I know if I can answer a question or if I need to go and get the response from someone else to make sure that I'm giving accurate information. Okay, let's move on to number two on the pro list. Number two is it's kind of tied to number one, but you know what the status of everything is. You know if someone is chooses not to cruise, it's not because they haven't paid whatever payments, and then you're hearing from the travel agent. You're in close contact with them, and you know what their status is. And this is important to me when I'm planning, because one is, we not only do I plan the trip, I plan an itinerary for the group. We also I have shirts made, and this year we did matching lanyards for the shirts. So it's important that we get an accurate count so that when we are preparing, we have the exact number of people, and when it comes to shirts, sizes, and all of the other great stuff. Number three is about the travelers. They just feel more comfortable when they are communicating with someone that they know. And let me tell you why I found this to be the case. And this is just my group. You may have experienced something totally different. But with my group, we also had a carnival contact person. So if there was anything that was specific to Carnival and I didn't have the answers, I can get to that person. I've had some conversations, and that's another story about this first experience using the Carnival planner. We just didn't have a good one. Really, we didn't. And she was assisting me with some things with the travelers and helping them understand. And we had a lot of people that just dropped out because she was new. She was a new carnival associate. So she was a little, I hate to say the word confused, but she confused the people. And some of the people that were going to travel chose not to, based upon some of the conversations that she had with them. So, with that one, I do like to be a little bit more in the loop, call it controlling or not, but it just helps me so that I can understand what's happening. I can mitigate some risk that may happen with the group, and I want everyone to have a great experience. So that is one of the reasons, the pros, that while I didn't use a full travel agent. Number four, we're on four, I believe. Yeah. And this, they all may seem like it's the same thing, but it's a little different. So, number four is about changes. I can handle changes more efficiently when I am more in control as to what's going on. I just don't want to have to kind of stop and say, all right, let me just call travel Mrs. Jones, travel agent, and see what we need to do. I don't know. I just kind of like to be a little bit more in control of things because guess what? When the questions come, they're going to come to you, and I need to be able to answer as much as possible when those questions come. And people get a little frustrated when they don't have the information that they need, and then they're coming to you, and then you have to tell them, oh, hold on, let me get in contact with this person, and then I'll get back to you. That, yeah, it doesn't always work for at least my group. My group. And then the fifth is payment options. Some people, we has a variety of how people wanted to pay for the cruise. Some people wanted to just pay the cruise out. Some wanted to use Carnival has a, oh, I can't think of it right now, but they have this monthly payment option that you can go with, and some people wanted to use that. And when they're going, although the travel agents, they don't really hound you with payments. It is really just, you need to make these payments, but you need to make the last one by this date. And but people, just to have the different types of flexibility, I didn't go with the travel agent. Also, Carnival has personal travel agents, and then they have group travel agents. We had a person, we actually had two different personal travel agents. I mentioned earlier we didn't have a good experience with the first one. She was new. She just, I mean, most of the time I would ask her questions and she would have to wait to talk to her supervisor, or she would give us information that wasn't quite correct. And she set up the whole group, and it was a mess. It was a mess on my page. So we opted to swap her out for another travel agent that kind of helped us through. Now, she didn't have to, because for Carnival, they get commission based upon helping someone from the very beginning to the end of the cruise. If they don't do that, they don't really get the full commission there. So, but this last one, she was great. She had been there for some time, and she was able to help us a lot. So if we need those specifics about it, there's always Carnival that you can get a hold of, and they can give you all the information. So it sounds like when I recruit, the pros are all about controlling, being able to control, especially when you have first time cruisers and they're close to you. They want answers. They feel comfortable with asking you specific things that they may not want to ask the travel agent, which makes it a big loop that they're going to me, I'm going to travel agent saying something, and then I have to relay that. So
For
there's some
joining.
of the
This
pros
video
to
is
it.
getting
So
a bit
here,
long, so I'm going to upload another video specifically speaking to the top 5 cons with planning a family cruise without a travel agent. So, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button so you are aware when my next videos are uploaded. Thank you, and signing off with Mrs. DLC.